On to something happier, more jovial story. The Atlanta Braves in the MLB in the World Series, they defeated the Houston Astros last night 7-0. 7-0 in Game 6 to win their first World Series title since 1995. They won on the road. It's the first title in 26 years. The Braves now have 4 World Series titles. And as I mentioned a couple weeks ago, what's been so impressive about this organization is the fact that they were the first team in MLB history to win 3 titles that originated in 3 different cities. So 1914, they were the Boston Braves. 1957, they were the Milwaukee Braves. And then in 1995, and obviously right now in 2021, they are the Atlanta Braves. And when I think back to the Atlanta Braves and some of those incredible teams, 1957 really stands out to me. Obviously, I wasn't born yet, but Hank Aaron is just such a profound athlete, and what he meant to the game of baseball and to sports, professional sports in general, what he meant for African American athletes around the world. Hank Aaron is just he's just idolized all over the world, and it was just great from an organizational standpoint to be able to bring another World Series to a city that featured a guy in Hank Aaron. Again, I know they were based in Milwaukee at the time, but still the same organization. Even in 1995, you had Greg Maddux and John Schmaltz and Chipper Jones. Just a lot of great players. Tom Glavine. There's so many guys that you can point to that have had such a profound impact on this Braves organization over the years. And for it to culminate once again in 2021 with the title, given how short they came up, barely short. I shouldn't emphasize that, how they barely came up short last year, losing to the Dodgers, blowing 3 straight games in the NLCS, for them to be back in this spot. And more importantly, given the slew of injuries and the off the field distractions that they've had, and the midseason acquisitions that they've had to overcome and pursue, for them to have again culminated this year with a championship is amazing. Marcell Ozuna, who was this great offensive player charged with domestic violence, and he was cut from the team. They had a promising pitcher, Mike Soroka, who ruptured his Achilles. Then Ronald Acuna Jr., perhaps their MVP out in center field, he tears his ACL. And in the middle of the year, again, they had to retool their lineup, especially their outfield. They go out and they acquire Eddie Rosario. They acquire Jorge Soler. And they pair him with Jock Peterson and the entire crew. And they go out and they win a World Series. And it's just impressive. And the thing about baseball, because, again, the Braves in Game 6, they won 7-0. They only had 7 hits, 7 runs to 7 hits. They hit 3 home runs in Game 6. And the thing about baseball, and especially the postseason, is it's not always about who's been the best team all year, though that happens often. It's about which team is getting hot at the right time. The 2019, the Washington Nationals, when they won the World Series, they were a wild card team. They weren't expected to win anything, but they captured lightning in a bottle, and they went on this tremendous run. And, Anthony Rendon and Juan Soto and Max Scherzer and Steven Strasburg and Trey Turner, and they went on this incredible run, and they won the World Series. And this Braves team, the thing that I like about them is, again, they're one of those teams that are easy to root for because they're just such a likable group. I really respect the hell out of Max Friedman. I just think that he is such a classy, quiet, and humble star. I love that. I love everything that he's about. I like the passion of Max Fried and the bullpen, AJ Minter, Will Smith, the actual players themselves, Ozzie Albies and Riley and Danson Swansby, pardon, and Duvall. They just have really good dudes Just have really good dudes on that team, guys that are easy to root for. And so when I watched this team, I was obviously extremely happy for them. As a Dodgers fan, I was happy to see Jock Peterson win. I know that he wanted to be a part of the Dodgers organization. He loved that organization. They felt like they needed to move off of him, like they couldn't pay him. So I'm happy to see that he was still able to collect the hardware somewhere else. He was huge. Jocktober is real. He was huge for the Braves this postseason. So I was extremely happy for him. And then Brian Snitker, their head skipper, what a tremendous story. What a tremendous story. This is a guy who's been a part of the Braves organization for 44 years. 44 years. In fact, he didn't even get promoted to head skipper, to head manager until year 39, just 5 years ago when he was given an opportunity. And the rapport and the culture that he's cultivated in this within this team and in their clubhouse, it's special. The players really, really gravitate towards him. They respond to him. He imbues a lot of confidence in them. He's been bold all year. The Braves, again, won 36 of their last 55 games. In 16 postseason games, they won 11. They never lost back-to-back games all postseason. And a lot of the credit, the majority of the credit goes to the players, but a lot of it goes to the managers and to the coaches. And he's done a great job just providing the ultimate positivity and spirit to this clubhouse. They always responded when they got blown out in a postseason game, which rarely happened. We saw that happen in Game 5, where they blew a 4-0 lead, then a 5-4 lead, and they come back on the road. And I said, if the Atlanta Braves were going to win this World Series, they had to do it in Game 6. I didn't feel comfortable with them going to play a Game 7 on the road, even though the Houston Astros had blown a previous Game 7 on the road, or Game 7 at home in the World Series against the Nationals in 2019. I still didn't like it. And then you just look back at their path to getting here. How they had to battle through the Milwaukee Brewers in 5 games, a team that reached the NLCS just 3 years ago. They dethroned the defending champions, the Dodgers, in a grueling 6-game series. And then you just you outplay, and you take down a really talented Houston Astros team in 6 games, a Houston Astros team that has reached the World Series 3 out of the last 5 years. That has reached the ALCS 5 straight times. That speaks volumes about this organization, and major congratulations to them, to their entire team, their entire organization, to their fans. They were an easy team to root for. Again, obviously, I'm a Dodgers fan, but if the Dodgers weren't going to win, I was happy to see the Braves win. Major, major accomplishment for them. World Series title number 4. So congratulations to the Atlanta Braves. Major, major achievement and accomplishment.